2-0.
Strong serve to back up the mini break.
2-0 Buse.
Now,
3-0, 3-0 Buse.
And it looked as though the line was the fairly obvious shot there. He was in good position as well. He was quite high up the court, but opted to go back to his man, and it's been a good start to the breaker.
so these two service points are must win now for Djere. See what he's trying to do, put him under pressure.
3-1, 3-1 Buse. Drei, 3-2 Buse.
So still work to do for the Peruvian. Let's have a treat.
Yeah, he's obviously aware the second serve is not going to change direction a whole lot. You can see he's gambling on this one. Nice height. See the grip that he has is quite a long way around, so generally that when you have a grip there, the higher the ball, the more comfortable it is.
Drei, 4-3 Djere.
Djere's responded really well. Oh, huge bit of luck.
Here by the 4.
Yeah, Offort was an outstanding second serve, wasn't it? It had width, it had pace, And he was really just trying to get a racket on this one, and oh my goodness, was he fortunate.
Can he use that, because they seem to be conspiring against him. Wild shot, it seemed, from Djere.
5-4, Buse.
Buse goes a mini break up. 2 serves could do the job.
An error stream breaker, isn't it?
Six 6-4, Buse.
So 2 set points after just over 50 minutes.
Spiel, erster Satz,
Would you
Buse.
believe it?
7-6, 7
The
games to
qualifier
6.
leads the number 5 seed in this first round match in GSTAAD. 7-4 on the break.
Yeah, wasn't the prettiest of tie breaks, but was able to get his game together just when it really mattered overall. It's largely a serve-dominated set, as these numbers will tell us. You can see both men pretty frugal behind their own serves overall. Not a lot in it in terms of the baseline points won. Simon mentioned the fact that Laslo Djere at times is a bit reluctant to move forwards. When he has done, he's actually had some reasonable success, but perhaps not quite an element of his game that he's added over the years. Peruvian, 1 set away from his maiden tour level win here in GSTAAD.
Buse, a happy bunny. Talked about his temperament early on, and he held up
Time.
well, didn't he, in the end? Really good serving. Djere, 71% first serves in, wins 88% of the points behind the first serve, loses the set.
Yeah.
So he stayed with him, got his reward.
Zweiter
For the
Satz,
qualifying draw, of course, we mentioned
Aufschlag, Buse.
the Peruvian came through the qualifying. A couple of interesting names in the qualifying, actually, over the weekend. Henry Bernay is the man that sticks out to me. He's the young Swiss player who actually won the Australian Open Juniors back in January. But he lost 6-4 in the third yesterday, did Henry, in the last round of qualifying. He's playing doubles here with Stan Wawrinka, I notice.
always think it must be very difficult for a Swiss junior.
Yep.
You say,
0-15,
wins a Grand Slam
low
as a
15.
junior, and everyone's going, is he the new?
That's right. Yeah, I was actually told recently, I think it was a few weeks ago, that he actually split with his coach, Henry, 2 weeks after he won the Australian Open. So there was a little bit of sort of turbulence behind the scenes for a while.
Shot has been missing. That looked really good.
0-13,
Response straight away
low
after
30.
dropping that opening set.
Yeah, this was a tough approach because of the fact the defensive slice stayed so low. He just couldn't hit it as forcefully as he wished.
No. Now,
0-40, low 40.
the first break points of the match, 3 of them in a row for the number 5 seed.
Fifteen 40. 15-40. Spiel Djere.
Good movement from Buse, but the miss hit means that
Erster Spiel,
Djere
zweiter Satz.
does get a kick start
Does get a
to
second set.
set number 2.
Can happen with younger players, can't it? I think who are not used to playing at this intensity. He's obviously not played too many players of Djere's ranking, and you play a set that's almost an hour, it's a lot in it, and then you've got to keep it going. Start of the second, you've got to maintain that level and that physical side that we touched on, and maybe they're just possibly just dropping it a fraction, and it's proved costly.
Nice. Bit of devil there
15-0, 15 love.
from Djere.
It's cool again. And the defensive lob was
Right
an excellent
signal,
one.
30 love. First signal. 40
5
love.
aces now for Djere. sure what happened there.
30-15, 40-15.
Seemed to lose concentration. Doesn't look like it's going to be important.
Oh. Verzig 13. 40-13.
Strange game, this one from Djere. His first double.
Let first service. Spiel, Djere.
Emphatic finish, got right on top of that. So he does endorse the break. And goes
Djere
to
führt 2-0, 2 games to love.
You mentioned the Swiss junior. I think the same thing happened with Djere to a certain extent. He was a brilliant junior, number 3 in the world. Everyone thought,
Yeah.
could he do the same kind of thing? Not the same, but, you know,
Sure.
get remotely close to Novak.
Yes.
Maybe it was too tough an ask.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's two sides to that side, aren't there? Because in many ways, this obviously is an individual sport. So you play for yourself. Yes, you're playing with your country's name by
No,
your side,
15.
but you play for yourself. So you write your own script, effectively, in this sport. You know, you sort of tread your own path. But at the same time, as you say, the country you're from, if you have had players that have had success, it must be quite hard to take that out of your mind, mustn't it?
Mm.
And sort of direct yourself away from those comparisons.
Yeah, the
15
ceiling's
by
so
the
high.
15.
Yes, that's right. And you've got to somehow put that to one side and say, well, I am my own in person. And maybe a lot of that depends on who you have around you when you're growing up. And because the flip side of that argument as well is that, you know, for someone like Djere, obviously what has Djokovic done for the sport? And for him, all the years he spent around him playing
15,
Davis
15.
Cup, being in those circles. We know the Serbians are quite a tight group. So all that, how much has he benefited as well from Djokovic? And only he could answer that. I'm not sure if you look at Djokovic's record, and it's pretty good against everybody, but he's very rarely lost to a fellow countryman. I had a look the other day when he played Kecmanovic at Wimbledon, and he hasn't lost to two. I'm not sure he's ever lost to a fellow Serbian, maybe once, but he's...
Verzig 30, 40-30.
Right on top of that.
Einstein, Buse.
Great return, wasn't it? Rocked him back. Allows him to take up a very strong court position because of it.
We've seen that before.
Portal Djere.
Yeah, and that angle is created because of the return. So you could see what he does to his opponent. Look where the Peruvian is suddenly. So therefore, he's further back. So the angles are open up for Djere to exploit.
Chance for a double break.
Spiel Djere.
Superstar for Laslo Djere.
Neue Ball bitte, new balls please. Djere führt 3-0.
Dramatic
3 game
turnaround
solo.
at the start of his second set. Djere leads 3-love. It's fascinating watching Djere. He's 6'2", which is no giant in modern tennis. And yet he looks bigger because he gets right on top of the serve. He stands up straight, doesn't he, when he delivers those forehands. He looks taller than 6 feet.
Yeah, he does. You're right. It's, I think, you know, it's amazing really when you're around the players, and so many of them physically are a lot bigger than they look on TV. I'm not sure TV really does their physicality justice. Sinner's a great example of that, to be honest. Yannick on TV looks fairly sort of scrawny is the wrong word, but he is physically huge as Yannick. You sort of get up close to him.
Yeah, you don't get speed, which he generates by accident, or even just by timing. Timing's a lot to do with it, but it's more than that.
Absolutely.
What a resilient character he's turned out to be.
That was incredible, wasn't it, yesterday? Exercising some demons. Couldn't have been easy.
Time.
It's warming up today. It's pretty cool and pretty wet for much of this morning, but no longer.
New balls. Oh. No 15, love 15.
Two cracking forehands. To get that angle from, I know it was wide, but it's an astonishing angle he got on the fourth.
Yeah, two heavy forehands, weren't they, Si, as well? You could see the shape and the extra bounce you get. You know, we talk about the altitude here. Obviously, that will mean the ball will bounce higher. So if you can hit with more spin, you're going to get a bit more reward for it.
Lead for service. Dreizig 15, 30 15.
Real pace
40,
from way
15,
back on that
40,
forehand.
15. Spiel Djere. Djere führt
on its head.
4-0 for games to love.
Mostly down to Djere. He's upped his level. And at the moment, the qualifier from Peru can't go with him.
Yeah, look at those insights. 9.8 on the forehand shot quality. That tells you all you need to know about where he's been at in this second set.
Brilliant.
And worth noting as well when we look at those numbers,
0-15,
we have to
love
factor
15.
in that accounts for the ball you're receiving as well. So that number's not just any forehand he's hitting. That's every single forehand. That's the ball he's receiving. So if he's under pressure, that calculates the quality of the shot he produces off that as well. So that's the full package: spin, depth, pace, the whole lot.
Winston Biden, 15. Right 6, 15. 30, 15.
Hasn't been able to do that much in this second set.
Yeah, not being able to get him off balance, is he? And therefore get a
15,
shorter ball
15.
to operate with.
40, 15.
This was one right here.
Spiel. Buse.
We talked about his temperament. It was impressive there. You know, he hasn't played that
Djere
well in the
führt
second set.
1, 4 games to
His
1.
head's still up, even though he trails by a double break. And 4-1. So he's still competitive in this second set, is Ignacio Buse.
Time.
But he trails by a double break. And he's been serving so well. As Djere, you just wonder how much belief there is in Buse at this stage to take this second set, but he seems to be right on it.
Null 15, no 15.
He did so well to stay in that rally, Buse.
Null 30, love
He
30.
is competitive here.
struggling a little bit in that second serve. Both men are in this set.
15-13.
Actually building the point he made earlier on about
15,
play and
13.
how favourable it's been for Djere. You look at his win-loss percentage surface by surface. He's at 30% on grass. He's at 38% on hard. On clay, he's at 60%. At tour level, that is.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked at the challenger numbers, but I suspect they're very
90
similar.
beide. Dario.
Which again emphasises just where he's profited so far in his career.
Again, it amplifies the point you were making earlier on. These 2 weeks are massive.
They are, yeah.
Veertig, 30. 40-30.
Well played.
Einstein, Buse.
I think the one thing we're also seeing now with young players is that, and obviously Sinner and Alcaraz have definitely got this, they can actually hurt you off both wings. Wasn't always the case a few years ago, but he looks like he's got a backhand that actually can do as much damage as his forehand, which is something you do feel like you need now.
Yeah, I suppose in the past, top players had a killer shot on one wing,
Djere.
usually the forehand,
Yep.
and they were okay on the other wing.
Yep.
Now they're outstanding on both sides.
They seem to be. Certainly Sinner and Alcaraz definitely in that category. Djokovic obviously was as well. Rafa was pretty much the same.
Spiel, Djere.
I'm just picking two names out of a hat. and
Djere
not
führt
focusing
5
too much
Finds.
on these guys. But
5
Zverev,
games to
for
1.
example, wonderful on the backhand.
Yes.
Not so wonderful on the forehand.
Absolutely.
Tsitsipas, wonderful on the forehand. Not great on the backhand.
Yeah, Rublev, same thing. He's got a solid backhand, but his forehand is the shot that does the work. It can't hurt you quite as readily off his backhand side. Casper Ruud, great example. Huge forehand, okay backhand. It's not necessarily a shot you would necessarily fear. More so on a clay court, of course. He's the top seed here. Worth remembering this week.
Yeah.
Null 15, love 15.
Yeah, Ruud not played since Roland Garros, where he lost in the second round. Pulled up with an injury as well during that match.
Was twice a champion here. 21 and 22.
Null 30. Love 30. Pilsen 30, 15-30.
It's one of the patterns of his second set. It wasn't a terrible second
15,
serve, but
14.
he's struggling to win points behind the second serve. 2 out of 10 in this set.
Right 6 40. 30-40.
Set point then with the serve. Great return.
Spiel, zweiter Satz, Djere.
He's
16,
played
6
pretty
games to
immaculate
1.
tennis in this
1-0.
second set. He's picked it up in just half an hour. That's where we are. We move into a deciding set after an hour and 21.
Well, we saw the shot quality on the forehand side. That was definitely a factor as to the improvements he made. You do feel as though the toll the first set took on the Peruvian paid a price a bit early on, didn't he? He didn't really recover after that. He found himself a little deeper in the court, wasn't quite able to dictate from the back. And these numbers, look at the baseline points won there. That's the most telling thing for me there. Look at that, 19-5 from the back. Obviously, it was a one-sided scoreline, so there were always going to be some skewed numbers here. But overall, well, winners 12-7 unforced. Just a better set from Djere. Just able to build a bit of confidence. You do feel the early stages of the third are going to be quite significant for the Peruvian. If he can try and re-establish himself, he might have a chance. But Djere, you feel a favourite from here on in.
Physio, presumably for Buse, but we can't be sure. Something in his hip area, I can only guess, but that's where he's pointing. Didn't notice any lessening of movement, but only he knows.
Just to go back to the point we were making about this being a relatively speedy conditions up here due to the altitude. Just had a look back at Berrettini's win last year, and in fact he only lost serve once in the tournament. In total he had 5 wins. He lost serve once, so now of course he's a great server, so he's going to hold a lot of the time he's going to hold anyway, but particularly here that does emphasize just how tough it is to break against the big servers. It's a little bit of an outlier as a clay court event in that regard, isn't it? Being at the altitude we are.
I'll do the medical just to release the hip. Do we have towels? Because I need him laying down.
Looks like it's going to be the full 3-minute
You have
medical timeout. It is the hip.
2, thank you. I just need you laying on the side.
Probably just massaging him.
And this goes back to what we were talking about in terms of the physicality of the game nowadays. I don't know if this is something that's come on or as a result of the week, but you know, never forget sort of talking to Jez Green for years about the work he did with Zverev and how much they built the body of Sasha as a young lad. They invested so early in that when he was sort of, what age he was, 16, 17. Jez was brought on board to make
Ladies
sure
and
he had a
gentlemen,
robust
Buse is
body
now receiving a
which was
medical
going to hold
timeout.
up, because I think that's something you need nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah.
For these young guys, as we discussed.
And with Zverev, you know, huge long limbs,
Yes.
but he was very skinny.
Definitely, and I think we saw that in Sinner's break, didn't we? When Sinner was suspended those 3 months, he came back with a different, slightly better, stronger physique.
Yes.
It's just, you know, it very much is the way, the trend of professional tennis these days. The young guys have got to be robust.
And going back to Sinner, I mean, obviously people have got different views. Some people think he should have been banned for longer because others have been banned for longer. Some people think, you know, it was awful that he got banned at all because there was no fault, no negligence. Whatever, he did a lot of very good work during that time.
Yes.
And it was a perfect time to have time off. Yep,
Absolutely.
that's for sure. And as you say, they did the physical stuff.
Yes, completely. And yeah, I think, you know, again, from what I'm led to believe, the team were at times last year, the team were extremely surprised how well he was able to sort of compartmentalize what was going on behind the scenes, because obviously there was so much discussion about what was going to happen once it was revealed around the Cincinnati time that he was going to be banned. I think the team was so shocked how well he was able to deal with it. But then I think probably initially when the ban came, that's when there was a slight drop in sort of his emotional state. But it's all in the past now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we saw what a great mental effort it was yesterday, wasn't it? I mean, aside from the tennis he's got, but just to be able to come through that again, and in many ways, I don't know what you thought, but he was quite a bit better than Alcaraz yesterday at times, wasn't he?
He was. He was. There was that period of 4 games in a row at the end of the first set. But
Yeah.
apart from that. Yeah, and for Sinner, for all sorts of reasons, you know, it's admirable the way he's reacted. Because whatever we all felt, he felt he was entirely blameless.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was very difficult to accept that he was going to get a ban at all.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people thought it was a very cushy ban.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Problem is that it's a bit too deep. But it will help you not to.
I was actually talking to Joey Djere last week, who used to be the physio of Tim Hemmon. He now has a role. Joey actually has a role with the ATP full time. He looks after all the physios. He's sort of in charge of, what's the word? He's in charge of sort of the physical development, if you like. It's the wrong word, but the sort of the physiotherapy side of the ATP tour. That's what Joey does. He looks after it. And he was telling me that they have 10 full-time physios on the tour these days, and the rest are contractors. So I'm not entirely sure who that gentleman is, but a lot of them will just do a certain amount of weeks contracted by the ATP. Joey, who was working for Tennis Australia for many years, but has now just taken up that new role with the ATP.
Letzter Satz. Aufschlag Djere.
So into set number 3 then.
Null 15, love 15.
Buse will be very keen to start the third set better than he did the second.
15, beide 15-0.
Ball.
I'm not sure he had to play it. I guess better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, and one of the problems here was he backed off. Look where
15,
Djere goes. He hits the volley.
15,
Yeah, but
30.
look where he goes. He actually comes backwards.
Yes.
The ball was only going to come up, so in many ways you actually want to close the net down.
He hates it close
Yeah.
to the net, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a minefield.
Mm-hmm.
Beide.
And if you watch his movement
Very
closely
good.
from the baseline, it's very similar. He often hits and then takes a step back. Not always, but it's sort of generally his default setting is to hit, and then he's not hitting and then necessarily moving up the court always.
Letzter Service.
Ball. Ball.
30, 40. 30, 40.
Well, that's a surprise. Second double. Here's break point. His first break point on the Djere serve.
Ball.
Just good enough because it looked like Buse had built the point really well.
Good
Einstein,
anticipation, wasn't it,
Youth.
off the approach. Buse opting to go into the forehand. Djere had gone that way, though. Got a bit of a steal on that particular shot.
Portail, Djere.
Persistent as ever, Buse.
Einstein, Youth.
Yeah, just enough.
Portail, Djere. Spiel Djere.
Good work. You had to earn that
Erste
game,
Spiel, letzte
did
Set.
Laslo Djere.
First game, final set.
But he's backed up, winning the second set, off to a lead in set number 3.
That's where the strength comes into play. I mean, you've got a ball up there kind of around shoulder height. To hit it for a winner from there, it takes a fair bit of doing. He's really accustomed to playing well on this surface. Of course, made that big breakthrough years ago in Rio, didn't he? In Djere. First really got to hear about him then.
Yes, dedicating that win to his parents, who both died of cancer.
That's right.
Backed it up with a couple more wins in Sardinia the following year in 2020.
Players are ready,
Yeah.
thank you.
This year in Santiago, where he beat Buse on the way.
Take your seat, please. Spiel 15-0. 15-0.
The stretch, I'm not sure it was anywhere near the sweet spot, but it'll do.
Oh, from a long way back as well. Look where he hit this
Right,
volley from. He was
signal,
behind the
30
service
left.
line when he struck this, almost. Unbelievable feel if he meant it. I think he did, you know. No apology, so you have to think maybe intentional.
Third signal, 40 love.
Remember, he was broken 3 times in the second set.
Spiel Buse.
Buse showing he's still got a
Eins
lot of
beide,
optimism
one
about
game.
winning this match.
He's technically got a good serve. When you look at it, he gets a lot of upper body turn into the serve, something that Milos Raonic actually used to do a lot. When you watched him serve, his upper body would rotate. They call that sort of the torque of the upper body, and that's where a lot of the power on the serve comes from when you got to bring that through. He looks like technically a pretty sound delivery.
Null 15, love 15.
This is good from Buse. Really putting it together there.
30, love 30. Null 40, love 40.
A mistake out of Djere. 3 break points for Buse.
Couldn't miss his forehand, could he, in the second set? And now it's all become a bit untidy.
Spiel Buse.
That's the
Buse
first
führt
break
2-1 zu Games
of
1.
the Djere serve in this match. Buse right back in it and goes 2-1 in this third set.
My tendons are in pain. Yes, I call the video. Please change over. No. No. I tried to push, but set it down now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the physio has been called to the court.
Combination of things happened in that last game. Buse picked his game up. Djere didn't respond. See where we go from here. It's been a topsy-turvy match so far. Not in the first set. No pattern at all. But Buse won it, and after that, it's been Djere until that game. Problem there. Looks like it, right shoulder. It's getting towards that time of year when there are more and more injuries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything's sardine packed together.
Yes, change of surface as well. Obviously, neither of these guys played a lot on grass, did they? But
Yeah, you can almost feel the pain.
he's 30 years of age now, is Laslo.
Yes, we
The hard thing, as we have discussed a lot, when you are where he is in the rankings, you can't really pick and choose your schedule. You're in a scenario where players will talk about this, it's a rat race. You're constantly having to play to keep the ranking where it is, defend the points from the year before. 60, 65 in the world. I mean, this guy's obviously got a slightly different agenda because he's a bit younger, but there is very little time to relax and just sort of have that time out, because the nature of the way the ranking system works with that 12 months rolling system, best 18 events they take into consideration.
Ladies and gentlemen, Djere is now receiving a medical timeout.
One, Lizari Turi. A word with those. Would that be on clay?
Yes, and it's about 6 weekends.
Yeah.
They have about 6 fixtures. The Bundesliga has about 6 fixtures, I think, interclub, obviously, spread over about a 4-week period. So I think maybe they have, I don't know exactly, but I think maybe 2 days at the weekend, and then maybe 2 days next weekend, and then there's a couple of midweek ones. It's sort of about a 4-week period. And of course, you can't get the same players to play in your team, but a lot of clubs will have a commitment from the players to maybe play 2 matches or whatever it is. Damir Jumu was another player I noticed that played last weekend. He's 60 in the world, so
See, the clubs are well heeled because
yes,
they wouldn't be going.
Absolutely, good prize money,
Yeah.
especially in Germany. Italy has a good, Obviously a very strong club scene. France has a good club scene. I think the French championships are actually end of the year, the inter-club championships.
So the guys are paid to play,
Yes.
but there's prize money as well.
Yes, I don't know how that works, and they want to have their own individual contract, but players will be paid to play, absolutely.
Yeah,
And healthily as well.
Yeah.
Healthily.
they're big names. So intensive work going on there. The shoulder of Laslo Djere. Mentioned how important these weeks are to a clay court specialist, and that's what he is. So it's not really a question of easing up with the US Open looming. He wants to get the job done here. He's done well here too, as Djere, semi-finalist in 2018 and 2021. Buse making his debut here. So the physio's job done. Let's see if it
Time.
makes a difference. Buse, remember, is just broken. He leads 2-1. Everything seemed to be working pretty well there for Djere.
15, love 15.
Good work. Power and depth.
15 by the 15.
Variety as well, wasn't there, with a couple of low slices that Djere didn't really cope with perhaps as he might have done.
Right 6, 15, 30,
Of
15.
his feet, did he? Feet got stuck, he got too close to the ball.
Couldn't have been closer though. And the depth from Buse.
30, 15, 40, 15. 40-30, 40-30.
Good return off a decent serve.
Einstein, Buse.
Unbelievable return, wasn't it? Tattooed that to the baseline.
Terrific switch.
And a quick switch, Si, wasn't it? That was the key to it.
Quartile,
It's
Buse.
not often. It's not always about how hard you hit it. It's about how early you hit it, and that was the key there. Look out where he's positionally he takes this from. Djere just wasn't ready for it.
Spiel,
Sort of way to
Buse.
finish the game. A problematic game. Djere was
Buse
threatening, but
führt 3-1.
no reward
3
there.
games to 1.
Fascinating half an hour coming up here. Vinceman's never won a tour level match, so he's got to overcome that sort of obstacle, if it's an obstacle anywhere in his head.
Doesn't feel like it will be.
No,
but
I agree.
you never know. He gets to 5.
Yeah. Looks composed, doesn't he?
Sure does.
Null 15, love 15. Beide 15.
Service speed, because obviously one big impact would be on the serve, but didn't seem to be there. 201. Super serve. Ace number 9.
Fünfzehn 30. 15 30.
Can afford those sorts of mistakes right now. Certainly want to try and keep it to one break. Test this man's nerve.
Beide 30.
Yeah, like you, I thought he might have fed him there.
He is almost there, wasn't he?
40, 30. 40, 30. Spiel Djere. Neue Bälle bitte, new balls
It's a
please.
fight, you can tell that for Djere.
Buse
Shoulder's
führt,
still hurting him.
3-2, 3 games to 2.
But he's still intact, he's still a breakdown, but he's exerting any pressure he can on the Peruvian. 3-2. Starting to fill up. This is the second of 4 matches. Matches every day here in GSTAAD. Next up, Arta Cazot of France against Nicolas Basilashvili from Georgia. And then the big one as far as the Swiss are concerned, the wildcard Dominic Stricker takes on Pierre-Hugues Hébert. Moving to the third hour of this match.
Time.
As you say, Nick, a testing time this for Ignacio Buse. After his first win on the tour. Love it. Did very well to get that
15
angle
love.
from where he was.
Yeah, look at the little cheat around the back end as well there. I don't think Djere saw that coming. There's been too many players come out of Peru in the last couple of decades. I think Luis Horner, probably the most high profile, isn't he?
Yep.
Last couple of decades. In the 90s, actually, Horner was a player, I think, wasn't he? Early noughties, maybe.
Beide 15
Work on his favourite shot, that into out forehand.
Right, 6, 15. 30, 15.
Right now, there's 3 points.
His serves dropped off a bit. 69% first serves in the first set, 54 second. At the moment, even with that one, it's 47. Got to pick it up if he's going to see this through. Otherwise, Djere will be on him.
Sick 15.
Not like that, though.
No,
40, 15.
criminal miss, given the circumstances from that far back. flight on the ball. It's the very first object you want to clear is the net there from that deep.
Spiel. Buse.
Really good stickability from Buse. And he gets to within 2 games of his goal here.
Buse führt 4-2, 4 games to 2.
Oh. Just think a huge sigh of relief. Probably saw Djere make his move. He changed his mind, didn't he?
Yeah, because he was so quick up to it there, Si, wasn't he? He was so quick to see it was going over the net here. But the slight problem there is when you make the space, you've got to hit it that way. He'd opened his body to hit it in that corner, and Djere had gone, as you say, into that corner as well.
Signal 30 love.
Once again, he made the move so early. An apology.
30-15. 30-15.
Had to guide it, didn't he? The ball was below the height of the net, so he couldn't hit it particularly hard. Just guided it down the line and found the Peruvian waiting.
Take 15, 40-15. Spiel, Djere.
Good enough.
Buse leads 4 games to
Keeps
3.
the pressure on.
Djere.
Buse still leads by that 3rd game break. It's 4-3. Djere's had a difficult time after winning in Santiago. Got to the round of 16 in Barcelona. By Alcaraz. First round at Roland Garros, beaten by Alex de Minaur. First round, Zitogenbosch and Haller on the grass. Second round in Mallorca. And Wimbledon. Went out in the first round, beaten by Andre Rublev in 4 sets. the clay. Can he turn this around? It's the single break that divides them.
Time.
Coming up to 3 o'clock local time.
Philistine 15 love.
Strong work.
Philistine by the 15 love.
Fine return.
As you pointed out, could do with making a few more first serves right now, couldn't you? Just to ease a bit of pressure on himself. Try and find a way to make it a few more cheap points if they're available.
Right 6,
Plenty of time
15,
to
30,
make
15.
that.
Strange miss, wasn't it? Whether he's feeling the shoulder physically, just wonder if he is impacting him a little bit.
Right 6 by the 30.
Threatening play there from the Serb.
Right 6, 30.
So he's
30, 40.
facing his first break point of this set. This is huge now for Buse. Djere overall 3 out of 5 on break points.
He actually does a really nice job, Buse, of managing
Einstein,
his game. And what I mean by that is a couple of balls in that rally that were really deep, but he doesn't overplay. He just manages to sort of manufacture them back into play, get himself to the middle. He doesn't make too many sort of rash decisions, does he?
No.
Seemingly. Good control there. Panic.
Portail, Buse. Spiel,
Another tough
Buse.
game. But your word, managed very well by Buse. And he's a
Buse
game
führt
away.
5-3. 5
Excellent
games to
hold
3.
Given the sort of duress he was under there, facing break point, this is all new territory for him. Against a player that's got a good pedigree on clay. Regardless of how he's feeling, this would be an excellent win.
Serving to stay in the match now.
Philipsen or 15 love. Lead for service.
Yeah, clever. Weren't sure until the last
Right
possible
signal,
moment which way he
39.
was going.
Good backhand acceleration of the low ball. Ball up and down quickly there.
Lead. Second serve.
Nice little serve and volley.
Field signal 40 love.
Took the chip down the middle out of play. Knew that if he did that, he was going to be vulnerable.
Letzig 15, 40-15.
Strange shot. Like a sort of semi-tack on that shot, really.
Spiel, Djere.
So the
Buse
serve,
führt 5-4.
hold serve without
5 games
any
to 4.
problems. So it's all over to Buse now. What can he do here? He'll be serving for his first win on the ATP Tour.
Yeah, not overthink would probably be the guidance I would think from most professionals or former coaches who have been in this situation. You don't want to be getting too far ahead of yourself here, one point at a time.
Remarked favourably about his temperament so far. This is obviously the biggest test. He's stuck in there. The times were tough, and they were tough in the second set when he was being comprehensively outplayed. He bounced back, breaking in the third game, and here he is with a chance now after 2¼ hours. I think you hear it so often, but it's a cliche because it's true. First point, so important.
Time.
Your first serve as well, you would have to think there's going to be a great value here.
That's a present.
15-0, 15 love.
No problem there, though.
15 by the 15-0.
The first time we've seen that from the Serbian. Just cheating around the backhand side, expecting that sort of that ball down the centre of the second serve. And they give it a real ride of the return.
Now things
15, 13.
get a little bit more
15, 13.
problematic. Return.
Yeah, it was. It was okay wide serve, but again, if you're being really critical, it didn't quite do enough. That it was sort of there for him. And yes, it was a great return, as you say. He was allowed to hit it. Ooh.
That one down.
13 by the 30.
Surprising miss.
Oh, making the longest rally, certainly the set, maybe of the match. Buse outlasts him,
13.
and here's his reward.
$40-30.
No wonder the noise. A moment he will never forget.
7-6, 1-6, 6-4.
The 21-year-old from Lima has his first win on the tour. And it's a good scalp too in Laslo Djere, the number 5 seed. And his temperament did hold up, even under the severest scrutiny.
Yeah, it was a fantastic last game because he was under a fair bit of pressure. And he was able just to keep the ball in play with enough length to force a couple of mistakes out of Laslo Djere. Maybe he's suffering a few physical issues, but only he will know. He's played well here in the past, but not to be this time around. He's one and done here in GSTAAD.
It all seemed to change in the third game of the deciding set, where Buse got his break and then Djere had the physio on for his shoulder. After that, it seemed that the only thing that would thwart Buse would be temperament, and it didn't. He was mighty strong.
Yeah, no wonder he's going to sit down here. He's not going to be in any rush, is he, here? He wants to just let this soak in for a moment or two. Great year last year for him, as you said, Si. He was outside the top 400 at the start of last year, ended it around the 150 mark, and if he can put together another win here, who knows? He'll be close to getting himself edging towards the top 100.
So we can hear from him now.
Congratulations, Ignacio. This one must feel really special. This is the first win of your career on the ATP Tour.
Oh, thank you. I feel really, really happy to be here. I feel it's a really special place. This place is amazing, and let's hope I can still playing like this.
How did you feel today? You went through the qualification. Did that mean that you already had your grounding here?
Yeah, I think that helped in my rhythm. I'm here since Wednesday of the last week, so it helped. And yeah, I felt really good today on the court, and now I think I have rest tomorrow, so I will rest and then prepare the next match.
Tell us how mentally it was in this last set to hold on to that break. These are the important moments at the beginning of a career like you.
Yeah, I think I managed it really, really well mentally. Laslo is such a fighter. Wish him the best. He beat me twice before this. I'm glad the third one was mine. But yeah, it was because of my mental strength, I think, today.
It was. Congratulations, Ignacio Buse.
It's good that he could acknowledge the part of his makeup that made the difference there.
That's important, isn't it? When you know you're playing to your strengths there in a situation like that. Didn't he do well? Because, as you say, the second set went by in a heartbeat, really, didn't it? He wasn't really much of an input there. We highlighted those baseline points won, and Djere was able to still dictate those over the course of the 2.5 hours almost. But Buse doing a really good job. Defended really well, I thought, towards the end of that set, in that third set, that last game in particular, because he was under a lot of scrutiny. But he hung on tight and eventually prevailed to get his maiden tour level win. What a great moment for him. So nice win, and we are halfway through the day here. He'll take on Roman Burruchaga in the next round. We saw him play well in Rome this year, Burruchaga. And You'll meet Pedro Martinez. Buse against Kamil Majcek, the Pole who won today in 3 sets. So 2 3-setters to begin our week here in GSTAAD. So order of play, 2 down, 2 to go. We've got Kazo and Basilashvili next, and then a little later on we'll see Stricker and Air Bear. Stay with us, we'll have more tennis very shortly.